for the next few weeks, I would like to do something focused on parenting. I'll post the full video on my website at www.drsheiksquare.com. Because of time, I may not be able to post every single minute on social media, but I will have the full video on my website. So, view the website if we're getting really deep and you're not able to see the full video. However, I've been asked to do this video for quite some time. I've had several people over the last few months that have asked me to do a video kind of going through some things that I've faced in my daily life over the past few years, and how I've been able to overcome it. Because when I talk to people about my story and about my past, they feel inspired. And I haven't done the video because I didn't feel that it was the best timing. But with Mother's Day approaching, I would like to dedicate this video to not only mothers but single fathers as well, and parenting is in general, because I've had people that were not single parents also be inspired by my story. So that's what I'll be talking about. If you have questions and you want me to add to or go a little deeper on anything, please let me know, because I would love to answer your questions. So I'll get started. As many of you know, I am a single mother. I've been a single mother for about 9 years. I don't talk about it a lot because I haven't wanted to praise the whole, superhero, S on your chest, single mothers, black. It just seems like a lot of times women, because I am a woman, I can relate, will do what is necessary, and not because I'm a superhero or necessarily because I want to, but because if I don't, then who will? So I just want to talk about some of the things that I face being a single parent and starting my own business and things of that nature. So I've been a single parent for about 9 years. When I first had my daughter, we had a big transition. We moved from one city to another city alone. And that was a struggle in itself, and it was very trying. I went through a lot of different emotions because she was an infant. I think I may have even suffered with postpartum depression. I didn't talk about that a lot when it was happening, but now I share it with people. I don't really understand how I came out of it. I just remember being very sad. I also got my PhD with an infant. My daughter was an infant when I started the program. And at first it was very different. I wouldn't use difficult, but different, because we had to do a lot of, and I'll use we a lot because she was very present during this process. We had to do a lot of scheduling. Scheduling was my best friend during this time. And what I mean by that is I followed a very strict schedule while I was in school. We were up at the same time every day, including weekends, and sleep at the exact same time every day, including weekends. We probably ate very similar things on Mondays, very similar things on Tuesdays, and things like that. I didn't have much of a social life because I was really focused on school and being a single mother, trying to really juggle it all. There were a lot of times when it was super stressful and super trying, but I was able to get through it, through a lot of different things. A lot of different ways, some of which was meditation, prayer, writing, and thinking about how it would be once I was finished. Starting my business, there were times when my daughter was a toddler and she would have temper tantrums when I was on my way to the radio station, and I would be late, and they would think that I was late because I was being a diva, but actually there was this 3-year-old or 4-year-old who fell on the floor crying, and either I drag her down the stairs or give her a second to compose herself so I can pick her up and then drag her down the stairs. And so that was very hard on me because sometimes I would want to just break down and cry, but I have an 8 a.m. appointment and this little baby in the back seat, so you just push through, or I just pushed through that and, just did what I had to do. I don't necessarily look at it as a superhero. I look at it as, if I don't, then who will? And so I remember those days, and I didn't tell the people at the radio stations that that had happened. I just apologized and, was on when I got there. I remember staying up really late, working on my business 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but still waking up at 6 when my daughter would wake up so that she would have food, she would get off to school, and I just did what I needed to do. And so now the business is flourishing, but I still have a daughter who is quite moody sometimes. There are times when I have a radio segment to record for iHeart, and she literally falls out screaming because she doesn't want to do the dishes, and she's 9 now. Right before I have to be at the radio station, or some mornings when she can't find a bag and she doesn't want to go to school. And so I push through these things because, and I think this is a lot of what people ask me to do this video about. I push through these things and I attempt to be the best person that I can be, not because I don't believe this, I have superhero powers as a mother, but because I would like for my daughter to have a life where she can flourish. So a lot of times I do put my feelings aside because I want to give her a platform to express herself so that when she's older, she'll feel comfortable doing so. I also don't over discipline her in her reactions because I also want her to feel like it's a safe space to react and to learn from her mistakes. She does get penalized, or there are consequences for falling out right before a radio interview. However, a lot of times it's conversation and introspection. And then you can't go to a birthday party or something like that, but most of the time, in that I do what I feel is necessary for that moment and for that age, understanding that my desire to have a little person grow up into an adult that is equipped to face the world overpowers my desire to freak out and flip out and ignore her a lot of times when she's reacting, or ignore her when I'm tired, because it crosses my mind. But the best way I can say it is love outweighs my desire to be selfish many times. And in this, I deal, with things behind the scenes, babysitting issues, having to be somewhere and babysitters cancel at the last minute. I had a trip planned to Hawaii once, tickets, hotel, everything already paid for, and the babysitter backed out at the last minute and I had to cancel. So there are things that I've had to overcome in this. There will be things that I will continue to have to overcome as a single parent, and I just pray a lot of times that I'm equipped and open enough to face whatever comes and not give up, because I do feel the desire to give up sometimes. I just don't. It's just really never an option. And that's the best way I can say it. From me, quitting, giving up on my life, giving up on my dreams, giving up on my desires is just not an option. So when things happen, they happen. I figure out how to get through them. I cry, I sit and I meditate for a day, sometimes a couple of days. I feel sad, but then I get up because there is no other option. And I think once you limit the other options, you're less likely to quit. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, and a lot of people have been asking me to talk about. If you have questions about that or comments, please put them in the comment section below. Send me a message on Facebook, Instagram. You can DM me. You can also visit the website. There's a place where you can send emails there. Subscribe to the website, because then you'll have access to the full video and links to all of the books that are available. And I hope you were able to get something from this. Please share, tag your friends that may need to hear this. And I hope you were empowered. I'm Dr. Sheika Square. It was great talking to you.